Hi guys, welcome to another online tutorial. So today we are going to be drafting the image on your screen. Yes, this design on your screen. So basically what I'm doing is marking or drafting out my normal basic bodice pattern. So what I did, I measured from my shoulder to my chest line, which is 9 inches, and my shoulder to my waist, which is 16 inches. Then the next thing I went ahead to do is to measure my shoulder, which is 7.5 inches, and I rolled straight down to my chest line. Then I went ahead to measure my neckline. I used 3 inches by 3 inches for the front neckline, and basically what I did, I used my curve ruler to shaping that out. So after doing that, I went ahead to take 1.5 inches for my shoulder slant. I divided the remaining by 2 and I took in half inches forward and I connect all lines. So before connecting the armhole, what I did, I measured my chest line, which is my bust divided by 4. Then I connected my armhole. So after doing that, the next thing I went to do is I marked out my waistline, which is my waist divided by 4. Then I connected all lines together. So basically this is what I do for my basic bodice pattern. Now if you notice, this pattern does not have allowance. So the reason why it does not have allowance is because the fabric I'm making use of is very stretchy. So adding allowance to the pattern or to the fabric gives it more space, which I don't want. So after doing that, the next thing I went ahead is to draft my back necklines, because we are going to be making use of one pattern to draft the front and the back. So what I used, or what I measured for that, was 3 inches by 1.5. Then I set that aside. So basically this is the skirt part now. So what I did, I measured 15 inches for the skirt length. 15 inches is my skirt length. So after making sure I got my skirt length, the next thing I went ahead to do is to measure my waist divided by 4. Then I went ahead to measure my hip depth, which is 8 inches, and measure my hip divided by 4, which is 9 inches. So basically I took out 2 inches for my knee, for the knee tightening. Then I curved or connect all lines together. Out, the next thing we need to do is to start creating our design. Yes, our design. So basically I'm marking out my center front so I would not be confused. So at the knee area, I took in 3 inches. Then I measured 8 inches downward. Then after measuring 8 inches down, now at this point you can be creative as you like. You can use a curve ruler, you can create a straight line, anything, but this is the ruler I'm going to make use of. I'm going to make use of the armhole curve. So after doing that, what I did is I went in from the center front by 5 inches and I connected lines together. Now I wanted mine to be very curved. That was the reason why I used an armhole curve ruler. So basically I have created my design. The next thing I want to do now is I went ahead to cut out the pattern. So at this point, please do not forget to label. So you need to label. It is very essential. So after doing that, I went ahead to divide it into 4 or 3 equal half, which is 1 inch, 1 inch, 1 inch. I made use of 1 inch. Now this is your design. You can decide how many inches you want to do. So at this point, I did the slash and spread method. Now this design, like I said before, you can be creative. I did this parts, the cuff part or the flare part, in 2 ways. Now the first way is you just have to spread the leg apart, and you just spread the leg apart and just add your inches of your choice. So you can add 1 inches, 2 inches, it all depends on you. The fuller the finer. So at this point, what I went to do now is I went ahead to start cutting my pattern on the fabric. So remember, there was no allowance there. I only just added 1 inch allowance for the back neckline for the back. So after doing that, I just went ahead to slashing. Then I cut out my front neckline and I went ahead to cut the front part.